three assistant, please. You can use the microphones as well when you're asking the questions. I think they might just do the seats on the back. Diolch.
Ben, croeso nôl o Dwrci. Sut ti'n adlewyrchu ar y profiad o chwarae yn y wrgylch yna, dod I ffwrdd o Caesuri gyda phwynt a dal yn sicr yn y gystadleuaeth yma?
Fi'n credu oedd yn gêm galed mas yn Twrci. Mae nhw'n tîm dda, mae nhw wedi dangos hwnna ac ar y deg yn y gêm oedd rhaid ni amddiffyn. Oedd e'n anodd, o lot o siawns yn dod yn erbyn ni, ond yn y diwedd yn credu ni wedi dangos lot o cymeriad I dal mewn y gêm ac yn y diwedd bach o lwc oedd wedi helpu nas I gael y pwynt.
A beth am y gêm nesaf yma I ddod? Oedd hi'n gêm dda yn Reykjavik yn erbyn gwladu a be chi fel grŵp wedi cymryd o'r profiad yna, be allech chi gymryd o'r gêm wrth edrych ymlaen at y gêm hon?
Yn credu bod ni'n gallu cymryd lot o hyder o'r gêm mas na o'n I wedi dechrau'n dda mas ac o'n I ar ben yn y gêm, falle o'n i'n gallu cael cwpl mwy, ond mae'n dangos bod mae'n rhaid ni bod yn are am 90 munud. Ni'n gwybod beth nhw wedi newid yn yr ail hanner. Rwy'n siŵr bydden nhw wedi dysgu wrth y 45 cyntaf, felly gêm anodd o fwri, ond un dyn ni wedi bod yn paratoi am nawr ac ni'n teimlo mwy barod.
O'n i'n edrych ar yr ystadegau yn gynharach. Mae'n ein diddorol. Mae wedi bod lot o newid yn y tîm. 25 chwaraewr wedi defnyddio hyd yn hyn yn y 5 gêm sydd wedi bod. Ond yn y cefn, mae yna 3 ohonoch chi, ti, Nico a Joe. Chi wedi chwarae pob un munud. Sut mae'r cysondeb yna wedi helpu chi ddod at eich gilydd? Chi'n nabod eich gilydd yn barod, ond o ran y cysondeb yna gyda newid hyfforddwr?
Mae fe wastad yn mynd I helpu pan chi'n chwarae gyda pobl nes chi. Ni wedi bod yn gwneud e'n aml ac rwy'n credu bod e'n dangos ni gyd ar yn siarad yr un iaith fel I ddweud ar y ca, ond ni'n gwybod hefyd bod lot mwy yn gallu dod wrth ni. Ni'n gallu arwain y tîm I wneud pethau'n well lan y ca ac yn credu pan chi'n gael gyd o'n ni ar y ca gan gilydd, chi'n mynd I gael hwnna.
A just I gloi, Craig Bellamy wedi sôn am bwysigrwydd yr ymgyrch yma I creu hunaniaeth, ffordd o chwarae, a hefyd I baratoi at gyfer yr ymgyrch cwpan y byd. Sut ti yn bersonol yn teimlo mae'r tîm wedi datblygu yn ystod yr ymgyrch?
Rwy'n credu ni wedi dysgu lot amdano'n hunan yn y gemau diwethaf. Ni wedi bod yn wario cwpl o fforddau wahanol. Ni'n gwybod bod lot wedi dod mas o'n garfan ni ac mae rai o'r boys wedi sefyll lan a dangos bod nhw'n gallu chwarae ran pan mae'r gemau fawr yn dod blwyddyn nesaf. Felly ni wedi dysgu lot. Fi'n credu bod ni wedi datblygu yn hunan y ffordd ni ware ac ni'n teimlo'n hyderus yn mynd mlaen nawr.
Diolch, pob lwc fawr.
Diolch.
Diolch, Daf. Os mae dim mwy cwestiynau Cymraeg, we'll go to the English then, and just put your hands up if you want to ask anything. And Robert Geraint wants to go first.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben. You okay?
Hi, Rob.
Ben, I know personal milestones don't mean a great deal to you, but you go level with the great Neville Southall tomorrow on 92 caps. And what, you're short, 20 short of Gareth Bale, and you're one of the 3 players who've played every minute in this tournament. Tell me about your pride in that, and just how long can you go on for with Wales?
Look, I'm very committed to playing for Wales, and I want to keep playing as long as I can, really, or as long as possible. But look, it's great to be mentioned in the same breath as people like Neville Southall, and look, I hope that I can play for Wales for a long time coming. But that will depend on me staying fit as long as I can and hopefully performing at a good level.
Gareth Bale is, 20 ahead of you. Could you get past him, do you think?
I will keep playing for Wales as long as I can, and we'll see what happens.
I'll take that as a yes. And generally, how are you feeling about the way things have developed to an observer's eye really quickly? And the Craig Bellamy, how do you feel about the way the squad has adapted to the way that he wants to play?
I think it's a tough one. You don't get a lot of time together as a squad when you're asking for such significant changes in the way you want to play. But that's probably why you're going to see good bits and maybe not so good bits in games. But we're committed to really trying to play some exciting football, to be on the front foot, and to play a certain way. And I think in these 5 games we've learned a lot about the squad, we've learned a lot about ourselves, and we've shown that on our day we're a match for anyone. So yeah, these 6 games have been very important for us as a group, and I think so far we've got to be proud of what we've put out there on the pitches.
Yeah, and last one from me. It's a squabble for second place maybe, but still a chance to overhaul Turkey. Does that have any bearing on how you approach things tomorrow?
No, I think from our perspective it's a game we want to go out there at home and we want to try and win. And look, I know we need some results to go for us if we want to top the group, but we can only control what's in our hands. So as far as we're concerned, we have to go out there, put a good performance in, and try and get 3 points.
All the best.
Thanks.
Diolch, Rob. Geraint.
Hey Ben, how are you? You okay?
All good, thank you.
Ben, listen, I will talk about Wales, I promise, but if I may talk to you about Rodrigo Bentancur. First of all, a teammate, but also your positioning. You've taken a role with the PFA, the Players Board as well, that conduit between the changing room. I suppose first thing, the impact of Rodrigo's suspension today, and maybe the impact that it sends to players as well.
Look, I read the news this morning, probably just like everyone else did. It's something that at Spurs, it's felt like it's been handled in-house, and look, now it's been handled outside as well. So I think as a group, as a team from Tottenham, we've kind of all put a line under it and moved on. But I think ultimately it's important that we realise these kind of things need to be looked at with the seriousness that it has been. And yeah, like I've said, as far as I'm concerned and as the team's concerned, there's a line under it now and we move on.
Coming to Wales, you've captained the side now during these Nations League. Listen, you're a senior player anyway. We've seen the development of the team, of the squad, the experiences you've had over these 5 games. How's the journey? Even of a player of your stature, you said, coming up with the caps you've got, how's the journey so far?
I think it's been a real journey of development and learning, really, as a squad, but also individually. When you work under new managers and new coaches, you're always taking new information in, learning new things, and I think that's what Craig Bellamy and his staff have really brought into us so far. We've tried to play a new way. Like I mentioned before, it's not easy when you don't have a lot of time together, and it can be a lot of information to take on, but it's something that this group is really keen to do, and I think that if we want to be competing with the best teams in Europe, then that's what we have to do.
One thing that's been great for us is that predicting a starting 11 has become a good game, because Craig was very honest. He was going to swap things around, play the opponent rather than what might be an obvious starting 11. But I suppose from the rotation point of view as well, how's that helping Wales? Because nobody's gone, moaning, I'm not playing or whatever. There seems to be a point to make the team better against your point. How's the rotation sort of side being embraced by the players?
I think it just shows that every position is up for grabs, and keep showing if you're playing well, if you train well when you're as a group, then you've got the opportunity to be in that starting 11. And you've seen that with the amount of boys that we've used so far in this campaign, and to be fair, I think everybody has stepped up and shown the qualities that they've got. So the more experience we can get for everybody in this squad, the better it is for Welsh football.
Just a final one, I suppose the impact that you get from the fans. For a long time we've spoken about that bond between the team and the fans, but there does seem to be, from the fans that I bump into, have a quick chat with before a game or after a game, a genuine excitement. Are you getting that translation back from the fans, and they've noticed a difference in the way you're playing, the way you're trying things as well, and maybe how does that affect you and help you?
Look, we've got an incredible relationship with the fans here. It feels like at our best moment they're with us, but also when it's tough out there, they're always there, they're always supporting us, and a lot of our success comes down to that. So yeah, it does feel like there's an excitement around us now. We're going into every game well aware of what we're going to try and do, and hopefully that can keep lifting the fans and have them behind us all the way.
Okay, we'll go Lawrence, then Emil.
Hiya, Ben. listen, Craig was really proud of you guys. He spoke afterwards, but he also said that he was being a bit greedy and he wanted you to dominate the ball a bit more. I was just wondering what his feedback was sort of post the Turkey game.
Yeah, I think it was exactly that. There was nothing more said behind closed doors. Obviously, we looked at the details and the reasons why and what we can do a lot better, but I think we felt that as a team as well. We've shown against Turkey at home, but also against other teams, that we are capable of dominating the ball a lot better than we did out there. And when you go to those tough environments, that's where you have to really step up. And look, I don't think we have to shy away with it. We know we can be a lot better in those games, and that's what we want to strive for. It's not going to be perfect every time, but that's our aims.
And I've got to ask you about your centre-back teammate, Joe Roden, 50 caps for him tomorrow. And just, A, how good is he, but also, how's his eye after Saturday?
Yeah, he seems pretty fine after the game in Turkey. But, yeah, look, I think he's shown time and time again in a Wales shirt how good he can be. He's one of our most reliable players, and he really did step up the other night. So, for me, it was a very good friend with him. It's a very proud moment for me to see him get his 50th cap. He deserves it.
Emil?
Hi, Ben. I just wanted to know if you could just add a bit onto it. What specifically has Craig brought to the squad? Because seeing him speak a couple of times, it seems like he's just brought a steeliness. Obviously, it's been a great start, but just from your point of view, if you can just touch a bit more on what has he brought specifically, and because it seems like he's really getting the most out of all of you guys right now.
I think the one thing that comes to my mind straight away is the detail that he goes into with every single player in all aspects of the game. And like I said earlier, that comes with taking on a lot of information. But when you've got a group like we do here that are more than willing to take it on, and everybody wants to develop as players, having someone of his experience as a player, but also working with some incredible coaches as well, he's taken a lot of information on and is working hard to pass that on to us. So from my point of view, it's like I've played the game a long time, but when you hear him speak about some fine details in the game, you feel like you're learning all the time.
And just one last one. Obviously, you mentioned about the fine details and the things you've learned under him. We know how he wants to play. You've obviously played under coaches who probably want to play a similar way. So do you find maybe it's easier to adapt to his ideas because you've kind of maybe seen similar, or do you think it's more difficult because obviously you're an experienced player, you are what you are in a sense, if you get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think realistically I've played under quite a few managers now, and each of them has different ideas and different ways they want to do it. So as a professional player in this day and age, you have to be adaptable. And that every time I do take that new information on that they're giving me, I feel like that I'm lucky to be able to hear it, so that there's more to learn, more to take in, and more to develop.
Any more questions? Okay, diolch yn fawr, Pa. We'll bring Craig in shortly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
No worries. Thank you.
Pnawn da, good afternoon. Glad you all got back, those of you who went from from the journey to Turkey. We've got about 20 minutes with Craig, so 3 or 4 questions each. Who's going first, Geraint or Rob? Are we ready to go? You've got the microphone.
Lovely.
Okay.
Hey, Craig. I hope you're well. I think just your reflections on, I think, a really good result in a very, very difficult place. I know that everything was, the hotels, IG was telling me they were lovely, but during the game they gave you what for, just to come away with, again, on the journey you want with this team, the development, just reflections on what you came away with.
Yeah, no, it was, of course, it was a good result. The character of our players, especially defending the box, putting bodies on the line, which you're going to have to do against a quality opposition like Turkey, was magnificent. And like I've said before, that's credit to the players and previous managers before me. They have that togetherness, and we try and promote that. We want to hang on to that as much as we can, because it's such a huge part of the game and a real beneficial part of the game. Being able to take our game there is what we want to try and improve on. I'm really, listen, of course, I'm definitely happy with the results, but I want more. I want us to be able to go to these top teams and really take the game to the opposition. Now, in order to do that, there's different areas of the game. People look at the ball, but without the ball, are we connected as a unit well enough? Are we consistent in that? Now, when we look back at the first game against Turkey, we were very aggressive with our line, and that allows us then, players have to run shorter distance to press, allows us to be connected. Once you have the ball, then you have energy to be able to make the right decisions, allows you to keep the ball better. I felt we got stretched at times. Very important for us not to get stretched, but you also have to be realistic as well. In atmosphere, you will not get a decision, don't expect one, which is normal, and I don't mean that in a bad, that's, big crowd will do that, they will sway it, and that's fine, and there is no complaints with that, but that's where we have to be. When I usually hesitate to use the word brave, because I much prefer take responsibility. Like, brave is for other parts of life, and football, it's not for me. I don't feel it's like, what, to get the ball, be brave? Like, take the responsibility, but also that's without the ball. Are we aggressive with our line? Are we connected? Are we pushing them up? Are we working their forwards? And that's part of where it allows you to have more of a foothold in the game. And you will get stressed when the heat's on. Can we keep to that? Because then it'll allow us to be able to, have a bigger say against these type of teams in the future, because that's where I want it to be. This is where I want us to be, that type of football team. No matter where we go, no matter who the opposition is, that we have this real good, strong part of the game that allow us to have a big say in games.
Given what you just said then, final fixture now in the Nations League, home fixture, Iceland's different opponents, different dynamic within the stadium as well. What do you want to see from tomorrow in the sixth game? You have the players, and I suppose the limited time you have with the players today. What do you want to see tomorrow?
I just want us to, a lot of what I just talked about. We're at home. I think we've about 27,000 at this present moment, which is great, for a Tuesday evening. But the atmosphere definitely always helps us. We always know in international football, we've all been to these games, no matter home or away. It helps home teams, of course. But we need to be able to play our game. Now, difficult opposition, but can we play, our football with and without the ball. And that's, we've seen it a lot this campaign. I feel our identity has been quite clear, which is more than I could have asked for. I'm really, really over the moon with that. But I want to, you know, probably the Turkey game as well is just give you that little, like, I want us to be a top team. I really do. I like even more so after that. I know there's difficult teams out there, and I know tomorrow evening is going to be a difficult game, really difficult. But can we have that consistency of this is how we play, and where we're able to, you know, where we're able to have a real good go at, like say, good go. You caught me off guard now. Were you waving your hands? Sorry, well, you were looking at me for another question. It's like, I'm not that gifted where I can. Yeah, sorry. No, I just want to. I honestly, whether it's more personal for me or I'm more invested, I don't know. But I just want us. I really want us to be a top football nation.
Sorry, that was being IG, our sign language. Just a final one about, it's been intriguing. Again, questions have been asked you, you've been really straight up about rotation stuff and playing different players. I'm just asking about sort of the selection dilemmas, if you have any for tomorrow night, any injuries, etc. But also the way you've been doing things is to rotate teams. You know, it's very difficult to guess what your starting 11 will be, and maybe how important that is for you in the wider journey you're trying to get of building not just 11 players or 13 players, but having 17, 18, 19 players.
No, it's very big. It's you know, I want. There's still one or two players that I feel I haven't given enough game time to, and I don't like that. I want everyone to feel they have an opportunity of playing when they get called up. You're here for a reason. We believe in you. We believe, you know, I definitely believe in the freshness of being able to change, especially short space of time. We do have a lot of players who are not playing. If I don't give them game time, where are they going to get it? Am I able to watch them play week in, week out? I'm not. So I need to see them. And I've been really impressed when every time I've seen, you know, and every time we've been able to change. So, yeah, and I got to be honest, just fresh intensity. I want to be able to keep that. I want to be able to maintain that. And, you know, I think it's probably sensible that we, when we freshen up, obviously we have to change the place.
Thanks, Geraint. Ian?
Good afternoon, Craig.
Good afternoon.
There are so many permutations, so many possibilities about where Wales could finish in the Nations League group, but also what it's going to mean then for the World Cup campaign. What do you want tomorrow? Do you want us to go all out to try and get top spots? Just make sure we get second? Don't mind if you finish third? What do you want, and will you be watching the Turkey-Montenegro game? Will you have somebody watching that game?
You haven't been with me in too many interviews now?
Nope.
No.
Well, I've heard what you've had to say about it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know about the group. All I care about is winning this game. That's the honest truth.
You honestly don't care about the group?
No, like what it be, will be. You know, it's win the games. No matter who it is. Like like that's surely football. You know, it's like, how can you set up when you play to give you the best opportunity of winning? Now that's home, away, whatever. And that's what it is. Now, whatever happens elsewhere, happens. Now, we've got to win. Because that's what we want to be able to do. Now, if we draw, then we deal with that. If we lose, we deal with that. Because there's only 3 outcomes that's going to happen. But how can we put ourselves in the best position to be able to win the game? And that is it. And that's the honest truth.
The Iceland game away, I mean, they showed how dangerous they can be by coming back from 2-0 down to draw with you. Do you look at that in a way and think if only we hadn't conceded those 2 goals in the second half, you know, would have had 2 extra points going into this game, would be level with Turkey, all that kind of thing?
No, we didn't win the game. That was it. No. Like, points for this or points for that. It was we want to win. Like, I believe if you win every game, then you've got a better chance of qualifying. If you draw more, then you've got maybe less. If you lose, then you've got no chance. But it was, honestly, we knew the game wasn't over half-time, because the game didn't feel that way, even though we felt like we had a certain level of control in the game. But it wasn't dominant enough to be able to say this team weren't going to come back. Knowing the profile of players they have, knowing the manager they have, knowing their history, especially over the last 10, 15 years, this team is never out of a game. They've been on a similar journey to where we've been, qualifying, just missing out. If we don't qualify, then we're in the playoffs, getting to the final stage of the playoffs, just missing out, or qualifying again. So we've just been back. They've been on that similar journey with us. So they have big experience. They have very good profiles coming through. They're producing players, elite players. So that makes them dangerous. So there's going to be a lot of difficulties in the game tomorrow, but it's really how we can win.
Just away from all of the Nations League, the World Cup, and what's at stake and all of that kind of thing, on a personal level, you seem to have you've really enjoyed this, though, haven't you? I mean, you've told us how much you've enjoyed this job so far over the last 2 months.
You would have seen me an hour before Turkey.
You weren't
enjoying it. I was like, no, what am I doing? It was, yeah.
My question was going to be, though, how will you cope over the next 4 months without having that experience of standing on a touchline? How do you feel that time? And are you going to miss it, aren't you?
Yeah, no, it's. I've been quite lucky because it's been month by month, and so that actually it doesn't, like, I felt like I've had a couple of weeks in between, and then we're at it again. I've really kept busy through that month as well, so it doesn't feel like I've missed that time. I'm fully aware of, and I've tried to put in place a big plan for that period, where I can go on study visits, when I can go and see different best practices. I feel that's important. There's a few courses I want to be able to go on as well during that period. So just got to keep active. My mind needs to keep active. But of course I'm gonna miss it. There's, I just feel like I'm starting to enjoy it again.
Can I ask why your mind needs to keep active? Why do you say?
You know me as a person? There you go. Yeah. It does. I think just me as a person, I need to be able to be active. Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Okay, and then we'll come over there. Thanks.
Hi, Craig.
Hiya.
Just reflecting on Iceland and that second half, what have you taken away from it? You've obviously gone back and analysed it and looked at it. What were your sort of takeaways from that?
Didn't create the angles. Stopped creating. Speed of press, then you've got to be quick with your speed of support. We weren't. So there wasn't a tactical change. We keep hearing there wasn't. They just jumped Yoey, or he jumped himself. And I mean by jump, they went up the next level, so they set the trap there, press. Now, if we release, hit 6, better option, but we've got to be able to create scenarios for that. So angle. Not jog, because if they're going quick, we got to be even quicker. So we needed to speed that up to be able to find a solution and to be able to get up the field. Now, we could easily look at, well, let's just go long. But we need pain. We need to go through that, because by that we get to coach. Because this won't be the first time, and it was going to be even worse. So we need to be able to have those scenarios, because it just gives us more of the library. It gives us more that we can coach and more that we can show the players. And that just allows us to improve. Because, like I said, even I don't want us just to be a good national team. I want us to be like one of the top international teams. Now, look, this is me. I am an unrealistic person. But that's what I feel I want us as a group to be able to strive for. That's why we come here. Because we don't just want to go to major tournaments, we want to have a big impact in major tournaments. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, but that's what we're setting out for.
And just want to talk about your centre-back pairing from Saturday, Ben Davies and Joe Roden. The Warriors, the pair of them, and Joe with his 50th cap tomorrow. What's your sort of take on how their partnership is built?
Really good, but we've changed them as well. So we've had Meps in there, we've had Ben in there, so Cabango, sorry. So we've changed the pairings as well at times. Like Joe is like his box defending. Like I know you've heard me mention that phrase as well. It means when you're deep and defending in the box, like headers, block shots. He's like so good at it. Now, and that's difficult. Trust me. There's a lot of defenders not as good as what I've seen with him at. But then, if you look at him with the ball, he's brilliant. He really is. Like, I feel the way we play is brilliant. Like, just enhances him even more. But how he keeps it central, he doesn't get locked, he doesn't go down pathways and cul-de-sacs, and then we can't get out of it, and then we end up losing the ball. He waits, sucks you in, pass. So, on the ball, really, really happy. I'm like, what a good player. Lightning quick. Like, quick. And if you look at those profiles, like defending the goal line, wants to defend, loves defending. Like obviously in the air, exceptional, but good on the ball, very, very quick. It's like that's a good defender. And he really is. He's just been so good for us. And and maybe we help him as well, but he's been really, really, I couldn't be any happier with him.
That was going to be my next question, really, because he talked about how Wales has sort of been a bit of a saviour for him in terms of if he was having a tough time at club career, he would come in.
I don't know.
Are you surprised he's sort of he's had that tough time at club career?
No, I remember when I was going to go in with Oxford. I don't know if anyone remembers, it wasn't like a highlight moment where it'd stick in your minds, but like I wanted him. So he was at Swansea, so he was like, I want him on loan. So I've because I've watched him, and I remember when he was at Spurs, when he made a mistake against Liverpool, I texted him straight after, said, keep your head up, you're going to be a top player. And this was about 6-7 years ago. So I've watched him. It was difficult for him at Spurs just due to the quality of players that were at Spurs, but what didn't work for him was, I believe they believed in him so much they didn't want to let him go. And that, like, they were waiting to keep him because they believed he's that good, but they had just one or two other players at that time ahead of him, which can happen. So it's difficult because you don't want to consistently for so long be a backup. But now, if it wasn't Leeds, like there was other clubs really after him this summer, and as we see now at this present moment as well, of course you could see why, but look, I probably shouldn't say this, but I remember even at Burnley we wanted him. So he's a player that a lot of clubs would love his type of profile.
Hi, Craig. Before the game against Turkey the other day, you said that you learn a lot about the team after the game. Oftentimes I feel like, teams are judged, good performances, going there, having most of the ball, creating loads of chances, but I also think there's something to be said about the way we went away there and defended, and even when we went forward, we looked dangerous. Just how satisfied are you after the game, just in the manner of the way we got the result, in terms of just the steeliness we showed, just the desire to want to come away there with something? How proud are you of the team after the game?
Of course, definitely, but I feel like I feel very lucky with this group. They have this. They've had it for a few years now, and I believe that's why we've got to major tournaments, because they're used to living in that. They've been able to see these type of games. 9 times out of 10, they've been playing in these type of games, and that type of way of getting results, they're very good at. So it's nice to have that, do you understand? And it's, but I just want, I want more for them. Honestly, I want them to believe that we can have a huge impact in the game. You know, that no matter where it is, home and away. And it's, you'll see it in, like, not just in sport, but in life. Like, when it comes tough, then you see what you are. Are you going to create the angles, like I said? Are you going to be able to press that line? Are you going to show all those habits? You're going to be consistent on what you do. Because human nature, natural habits, you go revert, you know, protect. And usually when you look at that and you go into protecting, you end up coming more disjointed and you end up running more. I want us to really run smart, but in order to do that, you've got to ignore the noise, no matter where it is, and be able to live in that moment. And like we call it, like, find that computer zone. You find that mode where ignore the noise around you, concentrate on the task ahead, concentrate what you're good at, and that will allow us to improve, because that's what we were able to show today. And this is, you know, we all agree we want to be better. So let's get to work.
And just one quick one if I can as well. Obviously, I know if you can, just for 2 minutes, I just want to put a personal question again, just to reflect. I know you're going to have time to do that in these 4 months, but just yourself, like, you know, after tomorrow's game, regardless of the result, in these next couple of months, I guess you're definitely going to have moments where you look back and how proud you're going to be of your start. Because obviously, I feel like with any job, and correct me if I'm wrong, obviously having a good start is always important, and obviously you've had a great start so far. So I know you're on the hamster wheel and you're not to tomorrow, so you know you're not going to be able to do that. But how proud are you?
Can he come all the time? Love your questions. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. But like, because I think you are. But how proud are you going to be of the job you've done? If you could just reflect, just for 2 minutes with me.
I still can't believe I'm doing this. I still can't believe it. Honestly, I'm Wales national manager. And it honestly, it gives me goosebumps every time I even think of it. Now I want to protect that as well. Do you understand? And I don't mean that by, I mean, like, I feel like I want to do so well for you. Now, in order to do that, I have to be able to breathe as well. And I have to calm myself down, because it's personal. I'm so invested in this, and I'm so lucky the people we have here, like with IG, but also coaching staff, we're all invested in this. This is not a career choice. This is not financial. It really isn't. And that's not like a side dig at anything. It's real. It's just realistic to why you're in this role. To reflect, to be able to look at the football side of stuff, is going to allow me to. I didn't look at like unbeaten starts, and you know I wasn't. And when someone mentioned that, you know I didn't know. I didn't have a clue about it.
Standing record.
I know, but I just like it's gonna go. You know what I mean? But I'm not protecting that either. Now you've got me thinking about stuff. I'm like, no, honestly, I just want us to be a really good football nation, and I really believe we can be. And what I've learned from this period, and I know I watch back on everything, all the meetings, you name it. My feeling right now, doesn't matter what happens tomorrow, and it doesn't mean I'm trying to write off tomorrow, far from it. I honestly believe we can get there on what I've seen so far. And that's been satisfying.
Okay, thank you. Diolch yn fawr. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Catch you later.